Hello guys, I wanted to talk with you today about the what's going on in Florida with the Don't Say Gay bill and how that's become Disney's problem and has so what's going on with the employees and and their walkout that they've done. What are their demands? What is Disney saying and doing? What is the Florida legislation saying and doing? And what does this information reveal about Disney as a company? We'll get into that. So the Don't Say Gay bill, which is actually the official name is the Parental Rights in Education Act. What it does is it prohibits discussion of LGBT issues in certain grade levels and in certain settings. And it's very vague. That's probably the biggest complaint that LGBT, the community, has said about this is, well, for one thing, it's just how vague the language is. So it sounds like they want to restrict the amount of discussion about LGBT issues and LGBT identity within certain grade levels, and so that is authoritarian, and it doesn't surprise me too much that the Florida governor is about to sign this, because I consider Ron DeSantis to be pretty authoritarian as far as the Republicans go. He's come out as authoritarian on almost every issue, so it doesn't surprise me that he's going to sign this. And so that's what it does. So my take is, whatever age these kids are learning about sex is probably the age that they should be learning about sexual identity. I mean, my first sex ed course was in the 3rd grade, so that's probably about the age I was ready to learn about what it means to be gay. Not that I wouldn't have heard it. I mean, I'm sure I had heard of it before then, but it seems silly that a kid could be old enough to learn about what sex is and what makes men and women different, but not be able to handle the idea of same-sex couples or same-sex marriage. That seems like something that they could handle. So what the response has been pretty loud overall in the public. You've got a variety of Disney celebrities, most notably Mark Ruffalo and Raven Simone have come out in support of the LGBT community and against the Don't Say Gay bill. The Florida Democratic Party was about to have some kind of event in Disney World. They've since canceled and are relocating that. Gavin Newsom from California, the governor of California, he's spoken in endorsement of the walkout and what these employees are doing. So what are these employees doing? We've got at least 100, maybe more, of Disney employees who have utilized Twitter and email and their work communication devices. I believe it's called Slack. They've come together to walk out, which doesn't necessarily mean that they are not working from home. My source said that, which is the Hollywood Reporter, said that it's unclear how many of these people are just going to be working from home. So what is it that the employees want? Well, their demands are to pull donations from Florida legislators. Well, Disney's already committed to doing that. Disney has said that they would do that, and since then, the walkout is still going on, and it's become a big social media event across Twitter mostly. But you've got Disney employees, you've got Disney celebrities, you've got plain celebrities, and politicians like Gavin Newsom and Ron DeSantis making a lot of statements about this on both sides of the issue, and the Don't Say Gay bill, not the Disney walkout. So Disney has expressed strong. So Disney has not only given them exactly what they wanted, they have expressed strong support. Disney has on all of their Twitter accounts, every kind of Twitter account they have, from Walt Disney World to FX or the Disney Channel or 20th Century whatever productions. All of their assets are basically being used to send some kind of pro-LGBT, anti-Florida gay bill message. So these Twitter messages that Disney is sending it in a lot of different directions. Well, they are sending a very clear, unified message that they, while avoiding acknowledging the walkout itself, they have expressed support, unanimous support for LGBT employees. They welcome all families and all people from all walks of life into their park, and they oppose the Florida Don't Say Gay bill and all discriminatory legislation and action. None of that surprises me coming from Disney. It's pretty tepid given that they're not acknowledging the walkout itself, but then again, they've given the walkout employees everything they could want. I mean, they've given them everything. I don't get it. I don't know what these employees want. But since then as well, the Human Rights Campaign, which is America's largest LGBT civil rights organization, has since they've now refused further funding from Disney unless Disney changes their policies and actions in relation to the gay community. So, but anyway, it sounds like it's going to pass anyway, because it's already passed through the Florida State Congress or whatever it's called. It's already passed. All I think it needs is for the governor to sign it, and he will, because it's an authoritarian policy, and Ron DeSantis is an authoritarian, and so what are we really learning here? Well, we're learning that we're not learning much. We already knew that Disney is pretty is a aggressive, disgusting, self-entitled organization, and they are a creative leech on society, and so all we are really learning, and to be clear, I'm not a fan of the bill itself. I do think it's authoritarian, at least in its nature, although I do think that the age of sex education should be tied to this. It seems fair that they should be taught at the same age, gender identity and that kind of thing, sexual identity. I think that that's fair. But what we're really learning here is that Disney has its hand in a lot of pies. They are regularly making donations to Florida legislators, as well as U.S. legislators, I'm sure, Congress itself. But in this case, they're pulling donations from Florida legislators, which means that they buy influence in Florida, which, surprise, surprise, Disneyland or Disney World. Oh, and Disney also regularly donates to Human Rights Campaign. So Disney is a regular donor to Florida legislators and a regular donor to Human Rights Campaign, which is the country's largest gay civil rights organization. So the Human Rights Campaign, of course, is off the mark here as well. I mean, they are why they're refusing money, it doesn't make a lot of sense here. And Disney has done everything. Disney is, if there's one company that is pro-LGBT to a relentless mind-numbing degree, it's Disney. Yeah, so I don't know what the protesters want, but they seem to have the same aggressive self-entitlement that the company has. So it seems very obvious now where the aggressive self-entitlement comes from the company. As the company acts, it clearly comes from within, because their employees are just as aggressive and just as self-entitled and way off the mark, really. I really think that if you were to poll the American public and ask them what they thought about this issue and how Disney's responding to it, and how the employees are acting, and how the Human Rights Campaign is acting, and how even these all these celebrities coming out about it, and even President Biden made a statement publicly recently denouncing the Don't Say Gay bill, which again, I don't really like either, but I do think that there should be limits on when this kind of thing is discussed. The same limits that we already have in place for sex education. Anyway, so I relish in any chance to humiliate Disney, and I'm sure to do it again. Thank you, guys.